The difference between consciousness and ego. Ever wondered what really calls the shots in your daily choices and actions? Are you in control? Or are your emotions and unconscious impulses the ones leading the way? Today, let's dive into the fascinating world of consciousness awakening. Let's explore together how to differentiate between the voice of the ego and the wisdom of our true consciousness. Get ready to uncover how these internal forces shape our perception of reality and how we can learn to listen to the voice that truly matters. First reflection. Difference between consciousness and ego. Picture yourself in the center of a vast theater where every decision you make is a play unfolding on stage. In this theater, two main actors vie for the spotlight, consciousness and ego. What sets apart these two influential characters in our lives? The ego, sometimes seen as an authoritative director, tends to steer our actions based on a script rooted in immediate desires and self-image. It's that voice whispering, "You need to be the best," or "let others know how smart you are." It's not that the ego is always a villain, but it can confine us to a shallow narrative where appearance and status hold more value than the true essence of things. On the other hand, consciousness acts as a wise counselor, seeking morality and the deeper truth of situations. It questions us. Is this really the right thing to do? Or, how will my action affect others? Consciousness encourages us to look beyond the ego, to understand our actions from a broader and more ethical standpoint. Here, the teaching of the Stoic philosopher Epictetus resonates deeply. It's not events that disturb us, but our interpretations of them. This perspective challenges us to examine not only what happens, but how we interpret and react to those events, an essential step in cultivating a truly wise consciousness. Now think about your own life. How often have you found yourself in a dilemma between following the immediate impulse, the one that boosts your ego, and the choice that, although more challenging, was the right one? It's in these moments that consciousness must speak louder, guiding us along a path that respects not only ourselves but also others. Have you ever found yourself altering your attitudes after reflecting on them? Here's a practical and personal example. Once I realized that my tendency to always impress in work meetings was more related to my ego than to a genuine desire to contribute. Upon becoming aware of this, I shifted my focus. I started listening more and contributing in a way that truly added value to the group, rather than just projecting my own image. So how can we cultivate this consciousness and avoid the traps of the ego? Start by questioning your motivations. Are they authentic or just serving to feed your ego? Engage in practices that broaden your perspective, such as meditation or volunteering, and always seek to understand the impact of your actions. Second, awakening of consciousness. Have you ever stopped to think that often we go through our days in an almost automatic state without really noticing the world around us? This awakening of consciousness is like opening your eyes for the first time after a long sleep. It's a revealing process where we begin to see clearly the social and personal realities that surround us, uncovering layers that previously went unnoticed. But what does this awakening really mean? It's as if suddenly we start to notice not only what happens on the main stage of our life, but also behind the scenes. We begin to question, why are things the way they are? How can I positively impact the environment and people around me? This process can start in many ways, perhaps through a significant personal experience that makes us question our previous values, or through a more attentive observation of injustices and inequalities around us. These moments of clarity can be uncomfortable, but are extremely necessary. Let's think of an everyday situation, something simple, like realizing that we're always following the same routine and starting to question if that routine really satisfies us or if we're just comfortable with the familiar. Or perhaps, on a broader scale, starting to recognize patterns of inequality and injustice in our community or workplace, and feeling the need to take action. Imagine discovering a passion for social justice after volunteering in a community project. This experience opens your eyes to the needs and challenges of others, awakening a new consciousness and empathy. How can you use this newfound understanding to positively influence your community? Here, the words of the Stoic emperor and philosopher Marcus Aurelius resonate deeply. Look within. Within is the source of good, and it can always radiate if you always dig. This call to introspection reminds us that by cultivating a deeper understanding of ourselves, we are able to act more effectively and compassionately in the external world. This path of awakening is a continuous journey of self-exploration and growth. It's not a final destination, but a series of revealing moments that challenge us to live more consciously and connectedly. And here's a question for you to reflect on. What can you do today to become more aware of the dynamics around you and to act more meaningfully? By fostering this consciousness, we're not only improving our lives, but also contributing to a fairer and more empathetic world. So why not commit to making a small change that can start triggering significant transformations? Reflection 3. Mindfulness and meditation techniques. Have you ever felt like your mind is always racing, jumping from one thought to another without pause? Well, in our fast-paced world, this feeling is almost universal. But what if I told you there's a way to bring calm to this turbulent sea? Here come the practices of mindfulness and meditation, true anchors that help us cultivate awareness and keep the ego under control. Mindfulness, or mindful attention, is the practice of being completely present in the current moment, observing our experiences without judgment. By practicing mindfulness, we train our minds to focus on the here and now, reducing distractions caused by past or future concerns. But how to start? A simple technique is breath-focused meditation. Sit in a quiet place, close your eyes, and simply observe the flow of your breath. Notice the air entering and leaving your lungs, the sensation of your body moving with each breath. When your mind starts to wander, and it will, gently guide your attention back to the breath. This practice not only calms the mind, but also strengthens our ability to maintain focus, a valuable tool against the ego's onslaught. Another engaging technique is body scan meditation. Sitting or lying comfortably, direct your attention to different parts of the body. Notice any sensations, tensions, or relaxation without trying to alter what you feel. This practice increases body awareness and reduces stress, while also distancing egocentric thoughts that often dominate our attention. Imagine that by integrating these practices into your daily life, you begin to notice subtle yet profound changes. Perhaps you find yourself more patient in stressful situations or more compassionate towards others' mistakes. Gradually, you become not only an observer of your own mind, but also an architect of your inner reality. And why not turn this into a daily habit? It can start with just 5 minutes a day and increase as you feel more comfortable. Each moment of mindfulness is an opportunity to reconnect with your calmer and wiser core, stepping away from distractions and ego impulses. How about embarking on this journey of inner discovery? By adopting these practices, you not only improve your mental and emotional health, but also enrich your interaction with the world. Let's embark together on this path of self-knowledge and transformation. Who knows what new insights await you by dedicating a moment to simply be present? Reflection 4. Influence on interpersonal relationships. Have you ever noticed how a simple gesture of understanding can completely transform a conversation or even a relationship? As we deepen our consciousness, we begin to see not only ourselves more clearly, but also the people around us. This increased awareness has a profound impact on our interpersonal relationships, paving the way for greater empathy, more effective communication, and consequently, deeper connections. When we become more conscious, we start to recognize that each person has their own story, struggles and victories, all influencing how they see and interact with the world. This recognition allows us to be more empathetic. For example, if a coworker responds abruptly, instead of reacting immediately, we can pause and consider what they might be facing in their personal life. This moment of reflection can turn a potential conflict into an opportunity to offer support. Furthermore, by cultivating a sharper awareness, we improve our ability to truly listen, not just hearing the words that are said, but understanding the feeling behind them. Have you ever been in a conversation where you felt that every word you said was genuinely heard? It's a powerful and transformative experience. This not only elevates the quality of communication, but also strengthens bonds, creating an environment where everyone feels valued and understood. And it doesn't stop there. This awakening to consciousness also helps us be more authentic in our interactions. By better understanding our own thoughts and emotions, we gain clarity on what we really want to communicate. This allows us to express our needs and feelings more clearly and honestly, avoiding misunderstandings and resentments. On this, the philosopher Seneca reminds us of a simple yet profound truth. If you want to be loved, love. This Stoic advice encourages us to practice the empathy and understanding we wish to receive from others, strengthening our connections through genuine and attentive communication. Think about it. How many times could your relationships have been improved if there was a little more mutual understanding? Now imagine how your work environment, your family, your circle of friends would be if everyone practiced a bit more awareness in their daily interactions. So why not start today? The next time you're in a conversation, try to truly be present. Listen not only to what is said, but how it's said. Observe body language, tones of voice, and before responding, give yourself a moment to truly understand the other person's perspective. You'll be surprised at how much deeper your relationships can become with these simple yet powerful practices. By fostering consciousness in our interpersonal relationships, we're not only enhancing our immediate contacts, we're building a more empathetic and connected community. And isn't that the kind of world we all desire? Fifth, self-awareness and personal growth. Embarking on the journey of self-awareness is like opening an old map, full of treasures to be discovered about ourselves. This journey not only reveals who we are, but also guides us along the path of personal growth, showing us how we can flourish and evolve throughout life. In this process, one of the most intriguing challenges is understanding and managing our own ego. But why is it so important to know ourselves? Think about it. The more we understand our motivations, fears, desires, and reactions, the more empowered we are to make choices that truly resonate with our deepest values. This leads us to live more authentically and aligned with what we truly desire, rather than just reacting automatically to others' expectations or the circumstances around us. However, the ego can be a cunning adversary in this quest. It often tries to convince us that we are our achievements, our social positions, or the images we project to the world. When we're too attached to these superficial identities, we risk losing sight of who we truly are at our core. Controlling the ego doesn't mean suppressing it entirely, but rather understanding its place and function. By doing so, as Marcus Aurelius advises us, we can remember that the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Recognizing that the ego is just a part of our being and not the whole, we can put it into perspective and diminish its control over our lives. This frees us to explore other aspects of our being that may have been neglected, such as the capacity for empathy, openness to new experiences, and the ability to change and grow. Controlling the ego doesn't mean suppressing it entirely, but rather understanding its place and function. When we recognize that the ego is just a part of our being and not the whole, we can put it into perspective and diminish its control over our lives. This frees us to explore other aspects of our being that may have been neglected, such as the capacity for empathy, openness to new experiences, and the ability to change and grow. For example, imagine a situation where you're challenged to step out of your comfort zone, perhaps a new career opportunity or an invitation to an activity you've never tried before. The ego may try to dissuade you, fearing failure or change. However, by recognizing this voice as the ego's fear of not measuring up, you can consciously choose to accept the challenge, thus promoting your personal growth. So how can we cultivate this self-awareness? Practices such as daily reflection, gratitude, journaling, or even therapies focused on self-exploration can be extremely helpful. They help us observe our thoughts and behaviors from a more distant and understanding perspective. And here's an invitation. Why not dedicate a moment of your day to reflect on your true motivations? Ask yourself, what do I really want to achieve? And am I acting in accordance with my deepest values? By doing this regularly, you'll not only understand yourself better, but also build a solid foundation for authentic and meaningful personal growth. Remember that self-awareness is the foundation for all forms of growth. It's an investment worth every moment. As you grow, your ability to contribute to the world around you expands. Are you ready for this discovery? What step can you take today to know yourself a little better? Reflection 6. Empathy and understanding in relationships. Increasing our consciousness is like tuning a radio to pick up clearer and deeper frequencies of the human experience. With heightened awareness, we are able to develop greater empathy and understanding in our interactions, radically transforming the way we relate to others. This not only enriches our personal relationships, but also promotes a more harmonious coexistence in all aspects of life. Empathy is the ability to put oneself in another's shoes, to feel what another person is feeling. Imagine what it would be like if, before responding to someone in a moment of tension, you truly took a moment to consider what that person is going through. Perhaps they are dealing with personal issues or facing challenges that you are unaware of. With heightened consciousness, you not only perceive these possibilities, but also act with compassion and patience, completely altering the course of the interaction. This ability to deeply understand others doesn't come out of nowhere. It is cultivated through practice and intention. For example, you can start practicing active listening. This means listening to understand, not just to respond. When someone is speaking, give them your full attention. Observe their body language, tone of voice, and truly absorb the meaning behind their words. This shows respect for the other person's perspective and validates their emotions, creating an environment where everyone feels safe and heard. Furthermore, consciousness helps us recognize and control our own reactions. Often our responses are automatic, based on our biases or momentary emotional states. By becoming more aware of these tendencies, we can choose to respond more thoughtfully and less reactively. This not only avoids misunderstandings, but also strengthens bonds of trust and mutual respect. Now imagine applying these insights in your daily life, whether interacting with a colleague at work, during a family discussion, or even in a casual encounter on the street. Every moment of empathy and understanding can contribute to a friendlier and more cooperative atmosphere. So why not challenge yourself to bring this practice into your daily life? The next time you find yourself in a situation of conflict or misunderstanding, take a pause and reflect. Am I really listening? Am I trying to understand? These moments of reflection may be small steps, but they are essential in building a more empathetic and united society. Reflection 7. Challenges of awakening. Consciousness. Awakening to a new consciousness can be a deeply enriching journey, but it also comes with its unique challenges. As we begin to see the world and ourselves in a new light, we may face difficulties, especially in how we relate to people around us who may not be on the same path of awakening. These challenges, though tough, are an integral part of the process of growth and deeper understanding. One of the most significant challenges is the feeling of isolation or displacement. As you delve deeper into your consciousness, your priorities and values may start to shift, and this can alter the dynamics of your existing relationships. Friends and family may not understand your new perspectives or interests, leading to feelings of loneliness or being misunderstood. Additionally, there may be a challenge in communication. Explaining your new perceptions and how you see the world can be difficult, especially if these ideas are new or strange to those you're trying to share them with. You may feel frustrated to see that others don't recognize or accept what seems so clear and evident to you. Another common obstacle is the confrontation with established beliefs and systems. As you gain new understandings about yourself and the world, you may begin to question and challenge social norms or beliefs that you previously accepted without question. This questioning stance can lead to conflicts with those who still strongly adhere to these norms. So how can we navigate these challenges without losing our newfound consciousness or harming our relationships? First, it's vital to develop a good dose of patience and empathy. Recognize that each person is at their own stage of growth, and that each one's awakening happens in their own time. Being compassionate and understanding towards others, even when they don't share your views, can help maintain healthy and respectful relationships. In this context, Epictetus's wisdom guides us. Don't demand that things happen as you wish, but wish that they happen as they do, and you will be happy. This perspective can help accept others' reactions with more tranquility and less frustration. Additionally, seek out communities or groups that share your new interests and perspectives. These groups can offer support, understanding, and the opportunity to discuss your ideas in a welcoming and receptive environment. The support of people who are going through similar processes can be extremely valuable. Lastly, maintain an open and flexible mind. The process of awakening is not linear and involves constant learning and adaptation. Being open to continuing to learn not only about yourself, but also about how to relate better to others is crucial. As you face the challenges of awakening consciousness, remember that each difficulty is also an opportunity for growth and expanding your understanding. While it may be uncomfortable and sometimes lonely, the path to greater consciousness offers immeasurable rewards in terms of personal growth and deeper understanding of the fabric of human life. How can you today embrace these challenges as part of your evolutionary journey? 8. Social and cultural impact. Imagine a world where every step we take, every decision we make, is rooted in long-established traditions and expectations. Sounds familiar, right? Well, in our own communities, we often encounter these social and cultural structures that, without realizing it, shape our thoughts, behaviors, and even our dreams. But have you ever wondered how these systems can actually limit the awakening of our consciousness and the flourishing of our personal growth? See, for example, how certain cultural patterns can dictate the right path to success. From an early age, we are taught that there are certain milestones in life that we must achieve: a good education, a stable career, marriage, children. But what if I told you there are more paths to explore beyond these? How do we react when someone decides to follow a less conventional path, perhaps dedicating themselves to the arts or embracing a social cause? What we often fail to realize is that by blindly following these predetermined routes, we may be suppressing our true essence. The challenge here is to question and, when necessary, transcend these imposed limits. But how do we do this without causing a stir? How can we gently but firmly tread an authentic path that truly resonates with who we are? A practical example of this can be seen in the story of a friend of mine. She grew up in a very traditional community where most women did not pursue a career after marriage. However, she always had a passion for education and decided to continue studying after getting married. You can imagine the resistance she faced, not only from the community, but sometimes even within her own home. But she persisted because she knew that her personal growth was not only a benefit to her, but an inspiration to her daughters and other women in the community. So what can we do, individually and collectively, to overcome these cultural and social barriers that limit us? First, it is vital to recognize and question norms. Ask yourselves, does this tradition support my personal growth or restrict me? Furthermore, fostering open and inclusive dialogues can be a powerful tool. Talking, sharing personal experiences, and attentively listening to others' stories help us see beyond our own limits. And most importantly, never underestimate the power of example. Being a role model whose behavior challenges established conventions can inspire others to follow the same path. Therefore, I encourage you, be bold in your choices, supportive in your actions, and kind in your words. Now I ask you, are you ready to challenge the status quo and redefine the contours of your own lives? Are you ready to transform not only yourselves, but also the world around you? Let's embark together on this journey of self-discovery and social transformation. It's a challenging journey, yes, but incredibly rewarding. Let's be the protagonists of our own story and inspire others to do the same. Come on, what are you waiting for? Reflection 9. Responsibility and action. Have you ever stopped to think about the true impact each one of us can have by acting according to a higher consciousness? It's not just about seeking self-improvement. It's also about how our actions and choices can influence and uplift those around us. This is the essence of shared responsibility, a powerful force that transcends the individual and reaches the collective. Consider this. When we choose to act with integrity, compassion, and in pursuit of a greater good, we are practicing a kind of leadership by example. And the most interesting part, this leadership does not require titles or positions of authority. It arises from our everyday actions, from the way we treat others, how we speak, and how we dedicate ourselves to causes that transcend our personal interests. Now let's imagine that each one of us decides to adopt an attitude of continuous growth and contribution. What impact do you think this would have on our community, on our society? And I'm not just talking about grand gestures. Small actions are equally powerful. For example, by offering support to a colleague at work who faces challenges, or by sharing knowledge and resources with those in need, we are doing more than a simple act of kindness. We are strengthening an entire network of growth and mutual support. And here lies an important reflection. If we all seek to improve just ourselves, who will take care of the world around us? Who will take the lead on issues that require not just the attention of one, but of many? This is the time to elevate our vision and realize that each choice and each action has the potential to create waves of change. Therefore, I encourage you to adopt a posture of active responsibility. See, for example, how you can be mentors for the younger ones, or how you can engage in community initiatives. Every effort counts, and the power of an informed and engaged community should not be underestimated. So let's consider, what can I do today that will not only uplift me but also benefit others? How can I contribute in a meaningful way to the collective well-being? And as you act, remember that true transformation begins within each one of us. but it amplifies when connected to the collective. So be the change you wish to see in the world, as Mahatma Gandhi said. Don't wait for the perfect moment. The time to act is now. And by doing so, we not only continue on our personal journey, but also help guide others along the path of development and common well-being. Reflection 10. Isolation and interconnection. Have you ever felt at some point as if you were following such a unique path that few can truly understand? As we advance on our personal growth journey and expand our consciousness, it's not uncommon to feel somewhat isolated. This feeling can emerge not because we want to distance ourselves, but because the revelations and internal changes make us see the world differently from the majority. This isolation, while it may seem like a challenge, also carries with it an invitation to recognize the profound interconnection we share with everyone around us. Yes, we might feel out of place at times, but herein lies an essential truth. Our true ability to influence and inspire change lies in our ability to maintain authentic connections and empathy, even when our perspectives become broader or differentiated. Let's look, for example, at a community leader who has reached a high level of consciousness about environmental and social issues. This leader may initially feel frustrated by the apathy or resistance they encounter in their community. However, it is crucial that they maintain the ability to connect on a basic human level, sharing concerns, listening actively, and showing understanding for the perspectives of others. Here, empathy becomes a powerful tool. When we exercise empathy, we put ourselves in the place of others, try to feel what they feel, and see the world through their eyes. This not only helps us understand the challenges they face, but also allows us to convey our insights in a way that resonates with their experiences and values. Moreover, it helps to reduce that feeling of isolation, reinforcing that, although our journeys are individual, the challenges we face are often universal. At this point, the words of Marcus Aurelius echo a profound truth. All that you hear about me, remember that we are one. This reminder can be a powerful antidote against the feeling of displacement, encouraging us to seek and cultivate connections on a more human and essential level. Therefore, what can we do to overcome isolation without sacrificing our vision and convictions? Firstly, we can seek allies and communities that share the same values and visions. Interacting with groups that have similar interests can strengthen our resilience and broaden our impact. Moreover, it is essential to learn to communicate our ideas in a clear and relatable way. This means adapting our message so that it is accessible and understandable to different audiences, no matter how complex or advanced our understanding of the subject may be. So I invite you to reflect. How can I maintain meaningful connections while following a path that sometimes feels lonely? How can I use empathy to not only understand, but also to be understood? 11. Reflections and questions. Have you ever wondered if you're living the life you truly desire? This question is more than just a simple doubt. It's a powerful invitation to reflection and self-exploration. Life often pushes us into routines and roles that don't always resonate with who we truly aspire to be. So today, I want to encourage you all to embark on a journey of questioning and personal discovery that will not only illuminate paths, but also foster continuous growth. Let's start with a simple yet profound question. What do I truly value in my life? This reflection can help us understand if our actions are aligned with our core values. Often, without realizing it, we veer away from our ideals in response to external pressures. Recognizing this can be the first step to realigning our choices with what truly matters. Another essential question we can ask ourselves is, what fears are holding me back from pursuing the paths I desire? Identifying these fears isn't an exercise to discourage us, but to equip us with the knowledge and courage to confront them constructively. Let's go further. How about questioning the impact we're having on the world around us? Do my actions contribute to the well-being of others? This question helps us see ourselves not just as isolated individuals, but as parts of a larger, interconnected community, where each of our actions reverberates in ways we sometimes don't perceive. Now, reflect on past learnings and experiences. What have difficult situations taught me? Often it's challenges that shape our character and refine our ability to deal with future adversities. Each obstacle overcome is a deposit in the account of our resilience. Moreover, don't forget to look to the future with the question, where do I want to be in 5 years? Visualizing where we want to be can be a powerful motivation to devise plans and strategies to achieve those goals. Each of these questions opens doors to a richer and deeper internal dialogue, but don't stop there. Share your reflections with friends, family, or support groups. Exchanging experiences is an incredible way to gain new perspectives and reinforce understanding of our own journeys. Lastly, I invite all of you to turn these questions into action. It's not enough to just reflect. It's crucial to act based on these reflections to promote true and meaningful change in our lives. So, are you ready to question and reflect? Are you ready to take the reins of your personal development and make more conscious choices? This is the moment to awaken, to challenge yourself, and to grow. Leave your response in the comments. Let's embark on this journey together, discovering and rediscovering who we are and what we can be. Thank you for coming this far. See you soon.